Hello and welcome to The Outside. This is a video all about kink outdoors, so I thought I'd come into my old local spot from back home. This is the Chevin. It's a very forested hillside with lots of quiet areas where I can do things like stand and talk to a camera about kink outdoors. But yes, I've had many a fun encounter here over the years, and yeah, if you haven't played outdoors before, you're missing out. As it's getting warmer now and it's towards summer, perfect time to play. In winter, not so much. So yeah, this video is all going to be about how to basically use nature as your own little natural bondage furniture, and just little tips like how not to get seen by everybody walking past, and just basically keeping safe, given the fact that if you're anybody who's living in London, you're probably going to be frigging miles away from home. So there's a few things to bear in mind. But yeah, let's just have a little trek about and see what we can find. So welcome to another one of my little play places. This tree is pretty much exactly the sort of thing that when you're out playing that you're looking for. What you've got a very wide base, perfect for going around. You've got anchor points directly above you, perfect for sort of things, and you've got level ground at the bottom. Level ground is really important, because if your ground isn't level and your boy slips, bad things can happen, depending on what tie you've done at the time. But you want to make sure there's level footing and there's a decent sized tree. There's no point in tying someone to a little tiny one. It doesn't work. You can bend it around and it's not as good. A big, proper, full-on tree means there's no reaching back around or anything like that. You're stuck. An extra bonus of this tree, it seems to have grown an extra bit since I was last here. That wasn't there before. But an extra bonus of this particular tree is the fact that directly opposite it is another tree. And this one is also thick enough for attaching things to. In this case, being tied with your arms above your head and your cock and balls tied to that tree. Works very well. There's a few things to be aware of though when you're playing outside. If you're wearing rubber, it can be quite intense. If it's very hot and you've got direct sunlight, while the person not wearing rubber might feel perfectly fine, the person wearing rubber may well be boiling, and they won't know, and they might well faint, and you don't want that. So always keep tabs on them. If it's raining, as it is now, although I'm under cover here at the moment, so try and use one that's got a decent cover and you'll be alright. But if it's raining and you get in rain directly onto rubber, that can cool down a boy very quickly, and you don't want to give him a chill. So always just make sure that if you're playing in rubber, you warm him up from time to time. I'm sure there's plenty of ways of doing that, but definitely making sure that the ground is stable is a really important one. Also, never hang anybody, obviously, from trees that aren't stable enough, aren't thick enough. This branch here was perfect because it's two branches and it does hold your weight. But these little twigs and stuff like that, you'll only end up either hurting somebody or ruining a scene when they can just go and break it. But yeah, trees are fantastic bits of bondage furniture, and the great thing is like, as well as providing you the thing to tie to, many trees, once you strip these down, make fantastic whips. There's lots of different trees out there that, you know, you get these saplings coming out of them that just make this good clean whack, and I'm a big fan of those. So yeah, you don't even, aside from a bit of rope, you could quite possibly get through an entire scene with only using what's around you. It's like Bear Grylls for Fetish. But yeah, what you should bring with you, bring rope, don't bring chain. Unless you're in some private woodland, people are going to hear chain, and while talking and stuff like that, people aren't going to really listen to the sound of clanking chains and spanking bottoms. It sticks out, so I'd stick to rope. It also means that if someone does come, you can quickly cut them out of it. So always bring a pair of safety scissors. Always make sure you know where you are. I mean, here obviously I know where I am. I'm up the hillside from my house. But if you're in London and you're travelling far and wide to try and find a decent place that you're not going to get seen, if you don't know where you are and something bad happens, then, well, it's fairly obvious what could happen. Anything, really. Likewise, make sure you've got a phone signal. Anything bad happens, you want to be able to phone people. Yeah, bring a bit of a downer there, but be safe. You know, this isn't your garden. This isn't in your bedroom. You're not next to a landmine. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere sometimes. And it's really important to make sure that even 3, 5, 10 miles away from home, you know where you are and you know what you're doing. It doesn't need to be natural. This picnic table here, aged 19, tied to that, 2 o'clock in the morning, middle of summer, pouring rain, fucking awesome. So yeah, if you can't find a tree, that'll do the job. Whether you're tied to a picnic table, tied to a tree, playing in an old abandoned building, whatever you're doing out here, it's very, very calming, if you want it to be. I mean, aside from the sound of the chainsaw, just listening, that sound of birds singing and rain dropping on leaves and stuff, when you're blindfolded and you're gagged and you're tied up nice and tight against something and you can't see anything, you can't move anywhere, that sound, when the dom's saying nothing, is very, very, very calming. So if they're there and they're running their fingers down your chest or just doing a little bit of light play or ice or anything like that, it's incredibly, incredibly intoxicating. Especially if you play a scene like that and then you follow it up with tying them to that tree, for example, facing the tree and fucking the shit out of them, and then going back to another scene. It can be really, really powerful. So yeah, whether you like it rough and hard or gentle and at one with nature, get out here. It's waiting for you. And yeah, make summer the time that you play away from your bedroom, away from all your little toys and stuff like that, and just see what you can do out here, because it's a whole lot of fun. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you again, probably inside, probably in London, probably in the dry, sometime soon.